Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of It's Related. I promise. We have a really exciting episode for you today. But before we get into it, I'm going to allow everyone, look at them, look beautiful, wonderful. I'm allowed everyone to introduce themselves, and I'm going to start. My name is Noni Mushiri.
Hi, my name is Pinky Ghelani.
And I'm Sharon, aka Shazo, 1/3 of It's Related, I promise.
I am Gowi Odera.
Heave or two.
That's it.
And I am Jules, aka Jules Har, also host of So This Is Love podcast. Shameless plug.
Also, JG.
JG.
Whether everyone was like, Noni's back. JG,
That's it.
JG, my
Correct.
DM.
As it should be. Welcome back, everyone. We're really happy to be here today. And before we get into our topic for this episode, we're going to start with what we like to call what caught our attention. Something that caught our attention today, last week, this past hour. I know some is still thinking as we speak. So we start with Pinky.
Wow, okay. What caught my attention this week? Two things. One is the rise of AI and what it's looking like on social media.
Yeah.
And how realistic it is. And maybe, I'm watching Tupac and hanging out with Marilyn Monroe, and I'm thinking that's bizarre, but it's so realistic. And I wonder what that will mean for content creation, as many of us are content creators. And the other thing that caught my eye was our MP who abused Larry Meadow on the road.
Oh my gosh, Taka.
Yeah.
Oh my dear Taka. But they've been arrested now, I think. Oh, something's happened, I saw.
The driver has been fined.
Right.
I think 100,000 shillings. But I wonder if it will change it.
Yeah. But also shout out to Larry for calling these people out.
No, and I also saw
audacity.
some journalists stop some other MPs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the first time I saw that was Masharia Guy, though. Shout out, that's my uncle. This issue is of driving on the wrong side of the road because you have a government car overlapping, and you coming yourself priority
with the walkie-talkie hanging out.
Yes,
it's a show of power.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it's illegal.
And even those lights, those two lights.
Unless you're rushing to
When you went to driving school, remember what you said.
This.
Amri ya barabara ni
Keep left, give way.
and give way.
So told us you make way for ambulances.
Is that an ambulance?
Is that an ambulance?
And certain
No, there are two.
president
There's a presidential motorcade
and ambulance.
An emergency.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because I thought that they have right of ways there, ringing those.
If they have lights.
If they have a siren.
You can buy that siren, huh? You can buy
I
it.
usually move. I move with so much.
And you're one of the
I'm sorry, Kenyans.
I think we should stand up to that.
I agree.
And I think we should just stay in your lane. Why are we moving to the ditch?
Yeah.
So that somebody can pass at rush hour, expand the road, feel the pain with us, Bana, So me, I think anyway, I'm not selling Masharia, though he
It's related, I promise.
I remember he was on there because it's my show called. So it was my grandmother was involved. She was like, "What are you doing?" He was with one of my cousins in the car, and he stood, and it turned out to be an MP who knows him or something like that. But he stood
his ground.
He stood his ground,
Yeah.
and he was with this kid who at the time. One of my cousins who could not drive, but it was all over the news. And this is even before when TikTok, not TikTok, sorry, Twitter was really popping, or news could spread as fast as it does now, but he did it then. And that's when I knew it's not illegal, but I wasn't sure because he has an activist spirit. So
Yeah. I mean, like Boniface Mwangi, I see Boniface doing it all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah, I think I'd be like Sharon. I don't think I would do it as long, but I'm like, what do you mean?
Because it also now creates that culture, especially
Yeah.
for matatus. Now they do it
Yeah.
without caring.
Thank you. Sharon. Your turn.
What caught my attention is I just realized 3 of us sitting on this couch have been radio presenters before.
Oh, yeah.
So that's just a cool fun fact. And
We need more details.
That's a really
now.
cool thing.
so, okay, for me, I was a radio presenter at Homeboys Radio, and I had the graveyard shift. So it was like Saturday and Sunday early morning, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. There was no one. And then I remember Homeboys at the time was right next to this club called
K2, K1.
Kiza.
Oh, keys.
Oh, they
Kira.
moved to.
Yeah, so they were
So every time-
pedestrian.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm getting into the lift going into to
they were
my
there.
shift, there'd be like vomit on the floor, drunk people, and I was just like, this is my commute to work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's brought back
The last mile.
the last mile. Exactly. So yeah, that was me on radio. What about you, Gowi?
So I was also on Homeboys.
Okay.
Yes.
Alumni.
But much longer was on Metro. There was a show called Kubamba with K Crew. He was there for 5-6 years.
Nice.
Yes.
You see,
We've been trying to figure things out. We've been trying to.
and I'm like, what primary school did you go to?
How do I know you?
Are you an MC? I actually asked, have you ever MC'd at a wedding? Because there's a guy who MCs a lot at weddings.
Yeah.
He's a corporate guy who wears a suit and he also has a white.
That's not.
Lotan.
Is he your brother?
No.
Okay.
I feel like
Look
look at
alike.
Lotan.
I go, you've denied this guy, Connie. Is he your arch nemesis?
Oh, never.
Never.
I'm like, no.
Never.
Not him. What about you, Pinky? Where were you on
Wow.
radio?
So I actually started on KBC radio.
Oh.
You know what,
knows that?
Pinky? I
Yeah.
remember that.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and here's another fun fact. My grandmother, my maternal grandmother, was a presenter on Voice of Kenya.
Wow.
Oh my God.
We have a
We
story.
have a story for you.
It's related, I promise.
Pinky, what's her name?
Gosh, I should know. Darshi Arya. I don't know what name she used then.
Yeah.
But that's her name.
Like her radio name.
All right.
That's so interesting.
That's so funny. We have a group, like when we first started this podcast, and we called it Be Okay. That's the name.
A WhatsApp group.
It's a WhatsApp
So
group.
cool.
Yeah.
Where we
it's a
plan-
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like Voice of Kenya because we didn't have a name. We didn't know IRP was the name
Yeah.
of the podcast.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, we want to talk.
I
Let's
like
just
it.
open a group.
And it's you, Ronnie. Be okay.
Yeah.
Did we want to call the podcast "Be Okay"? Or it
No,
was just
no.
WhatsApp?
It was
Oh,
just
that's
it was
the
just
WhatsApp group.
to have a name for the moment, and then it just never changed.
So then I went to
mhm.
Capital. Then I went to Kiss FM. I did the whole thing of moving around. Then I went back to Capital FM, and that's where I stayed for a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
where I think I know you from.
Yeah.
From Capital for ages. But then you didn't own, you came into the Fuse later, right? Did you
So
do a different show.
we used to. I used to do that mid-morning show, and then it was combined with Italia, who's a presenter as well, and we called it the Fuse.
Yeah.
It became.
Oh, 'cause you two
a
fused.
show. Yeah,
We
we
fused.
Yeah, we fused. We didn't refuse.
That show. Loved that show. And then now, obviously, now we see you with What Women Want,
Yes.
which is
So What Women Want is a platform that basically works together to build a community of women who come together to network, to grow, to inspire and empower. And we do a lot of events. So our events are conversation-based. We believe conversations like these change perceptions. Perceptions change your world. And once your world is changed, you can change the world of others.
Love that.
Yeah. So it's something I really love doing.
It's a great event. I've been to it a few times.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I even spoke. Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, yes. Actually, because you've mentioned what you do, maybe go tell us a bit about what you do now that you're not on radio. What have you been
Aside
up
from
to?
keeping left and letting.
Yeah, following law and order.
Well, I served for many years as a pastor,
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
and I left that maybe over a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so now what I do is I'm a leadership coach,
Okay.
Oh wow.
and so specifically executive leadership coach.
Mm.
I coach those guys in the boardroom, conflict resolution. I also coach people who've just entered the boardroom,
Yeah.
or that level, and I run a podcast,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's
You
what
can plug your podcast. Go on, tell her.
I can't.
Don't worry.
You know, you guys. I watch you guys once in a while. And I'm saying, let me hear what these people have to say about their perspective. You know, so I am feeling nimefika. I've arrived.
Karibu.
Hey, we have arrived. Because you guys are OGs, you know, in podcast.
That's
you know?
it.
Yeah. So yeah, my podcast is called Kahawa na Gowi. And so yeah, so we try and talk about, you know, life issues.
Yeah.
and then what's going on in the world around us. So yeah,
I love it.
Yes.
In fact, because we didn't mention what topic we're discussing today, maybe you can tell from the title, but we're going to be talking about, first of all, this podcast, we always just touch on society and culture conversations. Noni, Jules, and I have always just loved, opening up, yapping, discussing things. And so we invite different people to come and share their perspectives also. And very recently, there was this video that went viral in Kenya, and a social media content creator basically made a comment around marriage, hubamba mafala. And for our international listeners, that translates to marriage is for idiots, for fools.
Yeah.
And it sparked literally national outrage. And it just got us thinking about marriage and women aspiring to be married, to be wives, to be mothers. And so for me, why I thought it would be great to have Gowi on his podcast, Kahawa na Gowi. For international listeners, Kahawa is coffee, so it means coffee with Gowi. He did this series called When I Do Becomes I Don't. So he was interviewing millennials about marriage, some who are not married, some who are divorced. And I just thought it was such an interesting conversation. And I was like, Gowi, please come have this conversation with us. And also for Pinky, she's married and she posts amazing content about her family. And, you live your marriage out loud so beautifully. And so Noni, Jules, and I were not married. So we wanted to just bring a mix of people that have different experiences so we can just understand, like, should women aspire to be mothers or wives? Again, we're not experts. We're just here to chat and yap as we always do on this podcast. Yeah. So that's the conversation. But before...
That's a disclaimer, by the way. That's a discllaimer.
How do I feel? It's not chatting and yapping.
It's chatting and yapping.
Something I feel like I'm speaking for 4 billion men on this one, being on this podcast.
We need a male perspective. We need a male perspective. But yeah.
4 against 1, yeah. My boys will say, Gowi umengia kichinjio. This is just like a slaughterhouse.
Wait, okay, maybe Gowi, you can tell us from I do to I don't.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more, just a bit more about that.
I guess for me, the thing that I am, it came from my own, my understanding of my own marriage.
Right.
And the challenges I was going through marriage. And I was saying, if I'm going through this, what are guys who are younger than me going through?
Chaos.
And man, I opened a Pandora's box.
Oh, yeah.
I opened a Pandora's box. I mean, I've been trolled.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Of course, I've become a celebrity in some places. Jules is saying, I've seen you somewhere.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why she's sweet.
When you're being trolled. You're fired. It's just like...
But I think, as Pinky said, it's a place where we need to have some of these conversations.
Yeah, 100%.
And so that's
what sparked it and how it went. Okay.
Yeah. Can I go and say what caught me if this?
Yes, we finished what got our attention. Yeah.
So I've been to a number of events with kids, and I've realized the way the little girls are dressed troubles me.
Oh,
okay. I'm going to ask you a question.
It's related, I promise.
It's related, I promise.
Yeah.
I saw something where there was someone, when you're scrolling on social media, someone was like, "How do I explain to my 10-year-old that a crop top is inappropriate?" And it cut to some other guy saying, "Are you teaching your sons that you shouldn't be looking at women in that way?" However, my opinion on that, and you don't look at me so it's like she's going to disagree with me. No, I feel it's the guy who said, "How do I explain to my 10-year-old that wearing a crop top?" It's not even about teaching our sons. It's the men that are out and about today that it's too late to teach them. And unfortunately, they are eyeing younger girls in a very inappropriate way.
And when you said young children, did you mean girls?
So Pinky has stolen this thing another thing. That is what I wanted to say.
It's related, I promise.
So it's related, but
not really.
I'm just troubled. I'm just troubled about how the young girl. I mean, I have a daughter, and she's 7 years old.
7, yeah.
So I've seen younger girls, and it just troubles me of how they are dressed. I mean, I've seen girls dressed like, the way a mature girl will go to the club and dress, you know.
They stopped dressing like little girls.
And so I'm like, man, it's just troubling me.
Yeah.
I'm
You
just
think
troubling
these
me.
girls younger than 6?
Yeah, my daughter's age and younger. So it just troubles me, you know. I'm like,
There's also that debate around Kim Kardashian's daughter.
I was going to say the same thing, the thing with North, because how old is she? She's 12.
Yeah.
But people say she looks like
A
17.
teenager.
like a
19.
20-year-old
Yeah.
woman.
so
But she's covered up. North is covered up like to here. It's just that she has a lot of makeup.
It's
She's got her
expressive.
nails
Yeah.
done. She's got
So is that what are you talking about? Makeup, accessories?
No, I'm not. You see, there's a place as I see it, that if these young, I don't think it's the girls who are dressing me. I think it's their parents who are
I was
dressing
going
me.
to say, who's dressing a 6-year-old if not?
And I was,
So,
yeah.
so and it's not the little girl's fault. It's their parents who want their daughters to look in a certain way. And if you have, I mean, it's really Pinky. I would not let my daughter.
Wait,
dress
like
that.
where were you? Are you in the comfort of home?
It was
like,
it was a party.
To describe what
I
was
think it's
what-
also the way the fashion scene is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They're pushing
So
these little...
this girl had this wasn't a crop. This wasn't, I
a
mean,
boob tube.
So,
Just
was
little
the-
there.
yeah, and then she had a skirt.
Pants.
It wasn't a skirt. It was a mini skirt or something. And it was like halfway over here. And I mean, people said she was looking cute. And I was like,
Yeah.
I hate to be a devil's advocate, but it depends on the context. Like, I have a 5-year-old niece, and if we were at home, I'd be like, yeah, do your thing. Like, you know, I know friends who the kids roam free, naked everywhere. Like, not necessarily in, you know, like in a mall, like, or whatever, but that's what I was asking. Is it like in the comfort of an intimate
I just said
family?
this was a party. This was a party. And I've been to a number of those events when I've seen that. I was even in a mall last weekend, one of the malls, and I saw, you know, when my kids went to play at one of these, you know,
Those, yeah.
they jump and all that. Yeah. And I saw another girl like that, and I was like, man, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just old. You know, I'm
No, but
conservative.
I honestly think it is the fashion
Fashion trend, I
industry,
think
the way they're
so.
pushing. And you're right that
Yeah.
young girls are not allowed to be young. They're not allowed to be little. You know, it's those pink puffy dresses and socks still here, and that's completely disappeared. And I hear you on that, because there is a pressure that girls, especially, you know, under 10, etc., even teenagers.
Pinky, let me tell you how it bothers me. Yeah? So I live in an estate, yeah, where there are many young people, and I was walking with my son and my daughter, just taking a walk. It was during the holidays, and as we were going, they were, I mean, you know the way teenagers they have this herding mentality, so they are walking. But there was a girl, this young girl, I could tell you she was not more than 16. And the way she was dressed, I'm like, nah. I can't. I literally pulled her aside. All right? And I told her, young lady, you are a beautiful young lady. But I don't think you're sending the right message with the way you're dressed. All right? And now, I shared that with some other people, and they were like, no, you have no right to do. But I just told her, it's a rule that I have. You know, I say, you only show what you want to share. That's what I tell.
Does the rule apply to your son also?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're dressing rules that I have.
Okay.
You know?
No, but that's it.
Yeah.
You know, because now we're going to, you know, venture into a different topic. But when it comes to cases of rape, you know, there's always that thing of, but what were you wearing? And it's never about what a girl
Pinky,
wears.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just telling you what is troubling me is young girls,
the age.
young girls wearing that. I mean, we can go on and on, but this is something that I noticed. All right.
For me, a 16-year-old, because as you were talking, I was like 6, but then I started to think, when did I when we were growing up, we didn't call them crops. We called them tumbo cut.
This wasn't a tumbo.
But yeah, that was a cute. Me, I remember my first tumbo cuts, and I was like, was I a teenager? I said, no, actually, I was like in class 6, and class 6, I was 11.
Yeah.
So at 11, I had a tumbo cut in the 90s, and it was very normal. Jeans, you wear hipster in Italy.
Bell bottoms.
Bell bottoms and a katumbo cut. And that's what we wore. By the time you go to high school, now you're in a mini skirt.
Hey, mama skirts.
Yeah. We had those two. So I think for teenagers, for girls, that's just, I feel like the issue is
expression.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with the modesty. Yeah, it's a bit too much, but I really lean towards what we should be training is not that message you're sending, is more of that this is fashion. And we need to talk to the boys.
It's for against.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I get what you're saying.
No, yeah, we hear you.
I get what you're saying. But if you think about yourself as a teenager,
I think why I also get what you're saying is because if I put myself in that age, I do remember, and maybe it was just me, I would sometimes dress that way for attention. So I can understand that giving a message like that you're beautiful, I can get how that could speak to someone who's doing it for attention, and maybe they're a bit lost, or they're not.
What we have to teach our kids across the board, no matter what, I think it's just doing what you're doing it with grace, because there's also a certain way, like you could be wearing absolutely nothing, hot pants and it, but if you're carrying it with grace, and I think also something that's very important is confidence, which the younger girls no, I was going to say they're still learning. They're still learning.
Yeah, the 6-year-olds.
And, it's that whole thing of let children be children. I also don't think that under 6, under 10 should be dressing in these, little clothes, etc. But each to their own. I think we need to just teach our kids self-respect, grace. And even in a form of, like tumbo cuts in when you were 11, that's confidence.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on the context of where you are, because Jules, we had this conversation when I was in London, and there's some like shorts you'd wear.
I can't wear them.
You can't wear them in Nairobi. You can't wear and walk down this one road outside. Or like in London, you're going to Tesco. You'll put on.
Not even.
It doesn't even matter. Like it doesn't even. No one even bats an eyelid, because it's just more.
And it's not a conservative.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was saying. I'm like, for me, I need context, because there's some places I'm like, cool, okay, I get it. Generally, like if you're in my home, be free. Be free.
I think I
have fun.
See this.
Yeah.
Before I say anything, I wish I was there to see the 16-year-old and to see this. I mean, the 6-year-old, I'm already like, what are you saying? That's a bit wild.
Yeah.
But don't feel bombarded.
No, I'm not feeling bombarded.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling bombarded. I'm just expressing concern.
Yeah.
You asked me what has caught my attention.
Yeah.
Can I say my other one?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
My other one
Hey.
is I've noticed cops are always on their mobile phone. The
Yes!
cops.
Yeah.
I'm like, how much credit do these guys have? But these traffic cops are always on
their phone.
So
even the OT at night, the night guard.
Traffic cops are always. I wonder who they are talking to.
Yes.
And they have
Something that's bothering.
It's bothering you, eh?
They are gambling. They are gambling instead of looking for the criminal. Jumping. Uko wako sport pesa, sorry.
I don't know if they're gambling and all that. I've just noticed, why are they always on their phone, And they have their radio, that walkie-talkie, right? But they're on their phone, It's just something I'm
just
That's it, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, phone addiction is a thing.
so real.
Yeah.
Social media addiction, phone addiction. Yeah.
Yeah. Addiction, there's a spectrum of severe addiction. So that's like heroin on one end. And I think on this other end, it was social media and something else. I saw it actually doom scrolling before. Before I came. The latest episode on the Mel Robbins podcast, it's an amazing episode. You should listen to it. What's caught my attention? Not something so big. It's just that I went for, and I'm not plugging this event, but I went for this event called the Millennial Cookout a few months ago. And the fact that I was surrounded by millennials, I realized we actually look different because
Really?
yeah, babe. Like
Different from
Like how we dress.
like okay, so I felt like I'm with my kiln.
your folk. Your kiln.
My-
folk.
Your peers.
Yes, yeah, my kiln, watu wangu too.
Yeah.
And I said, so that means when I usually go out,
It shows.
I
Stand out.
yeah, because how comes I'm feeling like, yeah, these are my people. We were all seated down.
There
There were tables, and you sit down, and there was a tent, so we are
That's
covered.
it. That's it.
And then the music is, I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
I love
Honey,
that event.
it's called age.
It's called a
It becomes
And so what really has caught my attention is the fact that I am observing we're being phased out. Like we're phased out. Okay, the emergencies are here, but like, we're just no longer as we were as the millennials. We were always it. Okay.
yeah.
But now there's things being said and we're like, what does that mean? Where is that?
Oh yeah.
Who is that person? Which musician? Da, da, da.
You should have seen us recording TikToks. I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
Like,
just
how do you do it?
And wait a minute.
and it's going for millennial cookout that I was like, oh, so these are my people.
These are your people.
I get it. Everyone's like, it's confident in their own skin, drinking whiskey and drinking gin. And
No,
tonic
sitting
and
down.
Sitting
down.
down. Everyone is calm.
At
When
a
the music
party.
comes up, we stand up. And I was like, oh, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm seeing too many tumbocas. For real.
No, yeah,
Everyone
for
there
real.
is in sneakers,
No, I was
by
gonna
the
say,
way.
yeah.
No heels.
Everyone is in flats.
Jeans, sneakers, yeah.
Because we spent our entire teens and I started going out as a 19, 20-year-old, but we spent our 20s in 6-inch heels in the club.
And
so
no jacket.
Office wear.
no jacket.
Office wear in the club.
Office wear in the
Knitted
club.
up
So, yeah,
peppercorns.
that's what's caught my attention.
God, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
business.
we need more millennial events because millennials are
I
still
should
cool.
have that with her more. I mean, there's so much I can learn just from hearing that.
Yeah.
But, all right.
People like baggy jeans and a cut t-shirt, but it's like from the 90s, not this baggy.
Yeah.
I just felt at home. Conversations are it was
The music was not too loud.
the music was loud.
Do you know, I find loud music so loud.
Right
We're
there.
aging. We're aging.
Anyway, I need to hand it over to you,
Yes.
Sharon.
Yes,
this
guys,
conversation. This is the issue with this segment. It takes forever.
so long.
But this means that we have a conversation to talk about around what is decency, what is
Yeah.
modesty,
Yeah.
how we should be trained the boys.
I have added content.
Yeah.
In fact, we should bring you back for that time.
Yeah. Does it matter what a girl wears? Should it matter?
Yeah. And who
And-
teaches you?
And also, where fashion is going nowadays, even on the men's side of things. So
Yeah. Hey, guys, there's a lot we can talk about. But let's circle back to what we were actually here to discuss, which is, more broadly, the conversation that technically gripped the whole of Kenya about marriage and whether marriage does indeed bamba mahala. And we kind of want to spin off and really unpack, like, should women therefore, right, aspire to be wives and mothers first? And the reason we're saying first is because I think growing up, a lot of the fairy tales we would watch, you kind of, dream of your wedding day, of your happily ever after, etc. But I think the way times have evolved now is women are aspiring for other things, for more things. So where does that then leave marriage? And of course, the reason we wanted to have you guys is because, you're married, you have kids. And so this conversation needed that insight. So I want to start by just asking, just around the room, before we really get into everything. And we can start with Modosh.
Hit me.
As a woman, coming to you as a woman.
Don't come to your doing already. There's a problem.
You yourself, do you aspire to be a wife and a mother?
Wow. To answer simply, I don't think I aspire to it,
Okay.
but I do think it's something that I think about and something that I would be interested in if done the right way. There's a lot of if this, then that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of caveats before. It's not just, get married. Or now you reached 30, get married. Or now you're 35, get married.
Yeah.
But I think the older I get, the more it comes up. Like my parents are very chill. They don't stress about these things, but I have
Really?
not at all.
amazing.
Not at all.
yet.
Not at all.
way.
But you know what I think? I think it's also because I have an older sister who, has given them their grandchild, and a lot of that pressure has gone, which is why I think you might feel more pressure as the firstborn, as the secondborn. I'm like, tick. Like, on behalf of us, we are done. Like, that's it, you know? But I would be lying if I was like, oh no, I don't think about it. Oh no, like, you know, I'm just so career driven and I want to travel the world. And I do. Those are the things I want to do. I think I become more selective.
Okay.
That's what it is. That's
okay.
That's where
That's them.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Jules just because I want to ask them a slightly different version of that, given that they are already married.
Yeah.
So, yeah, do you aspire to be married, to have kids? Where are you on that whole thing?
Yes, I do. And I hate that I do because, you know, I'm medicated and I am woke, but I do. I like the idea. Kids, I've mentioned before on this podcast, I'm so much on the fence on that. But the reason I say yes is because when I was in a healthy relationship, all of a sudden I'm like, how many kids do you want to have?
Yeah.
Amnesty. And that's because I felt safe. So I said, oh, so the other times I didn't know is because I'm looking at this person, I'm like, who is going to carry this thing?
Yeah.
I feel like it will be my burden to carry. So yes, it is. I think marriage more than kids has always been, because I'm such a romantic and all I wanted in life was, you know, I was okay with my WWJD and my chastity ring. And I'm like, the first person I make love to is the one I will marry because God has
ordained it.
Let me tell you, background. you have your morals, he has his own. And life just shows you. And you have to build a new set of skills to deal with the dating scene.
Yeah.
And you evolve. So
and you're also like learning on the go. Yeah.
Because being in a life, I've realized it can't be, if it's an aspiration, you'll be hurt. Because I'm 37 now. And by all measures, I should be panicking. And I've been in the panic. I panicked at 29. Oh my God, I'm turning 30. And then 31. Guy, now I'm 30. Then at awkward 32, 33, I said, baby, this thing is not going to kill me. It won't. And I just said, you know, I started focusing on my own. I realized I had a lot of work to do on myself.
Yeah.
So it's a very strong yes and no.
Okay.
But it was always a dream. And now that I've seen what marriage looks like through other people, I'm like, hiya. It ain't what I think.
It's not white picket fences. And
yeah. But I also want to say something. We had this conversation around this topic even before the video came out. I think it's important to point that out, that it's something that we really, really wanted
to discuss.
Absolutely.
And Sophia, for me, as before I get to the guests, I'm a lover girl also, like Jules. I think we all know this. And I love the idea of having someone to spend the rest of my life with.
Yeah.
For me, that's what I aspire. That's what draws me to marriage. I love the idea of starting a unit with this person. But also, if they don't want kids, I feel like I'm okay. Like for me, I want more the partner and the person and the companionship more than anything else. Like children, I don't necessarily aspire to be a mother, but I feel like if we're in a happy, secure companionship, our mental health is right, finances, and children feel like the next best thing, cool. And that's how I've been growing up. I think getting older, it's not that I don't aspire for it. I've just, again, like Jules, life has happened so much that I feel like I've gained other aspirations. Like I'm very career focused. I'm very keen on like building my business, my whatever. But I feel like a part of me knows that I'm doing that because I don't have a partner to necessarily rely on, because I'm very keen and open, and maybe to even my preference, to be like a stay-at-home mom. Yeah, stay-at-home mom. And, you know, I'm not necessarily soft life in the way people understand, but I feel like in a marriage, if I'm the one staying home to take care of the kids and be their sort of nurturer, I'm a very capable woman of bringing in bread to the table. So you need to make up for the bread that I'm not bringing to the table. And it's on that mindset that I will then stay home. I'm not going to stay home just because this is what I want and this is my preference. You need, as my partner, to demonstrate that you can, whatever I'm not bringing to the table, you can still meet that. And so I can be comfortable in taking a backseat, because home labor is still labor.
Yeah,
and it's just unpaid labor, but someone still needs to whatever. So it's not necessarily soft life in that way. I just wanted to make that disclaimer. But I would like to have that set up if God wills it, and I have a husband that can give us that lifestyle. Fantastic. If not, we continue hustling and we figure it out. So me, that's my aspiration. So to come to the guests, how I want to switch the question is what you had aspired for marriage and what it has turned out to be.
Qua ground.
Qua ground. How is it? And could you share maybe how long you've been married?
Okay.
And been a mom.
Should I start?
Yes.
So I have been married. I'll be married in January, 18 years.
Wow.
We've been together 27 years.
What?
Wow.
Was it like a high school sweetheart?
Like college. Nice.
Yeah.
You're God's favorite.
Wow. Tell us.
But I started dating him when I was 22.
Wow.
So 27 years.
Yeah.
Marriages, I believe, marriages are made in heaven. It sounds airy-fairy. It sounds very dramatic. It sounds like, oh, Pinky, shut up. But I really believe your destiny is written and your marriage is written, which is why you'll see people get married once, twice, 3 times, because I think one, being from, the Hindu, if you look at it from a Hindu spiritual side, there's karma. There's karmic relationships that you have to have. I've lost my train of thought, but
Made in heaven.
yeah, I'll come back to the fact that you said, is it everything I thought it would be? Absolutely not.
Okay.
Marriage is not for the faint-hearted, but you need to know yourself very well when you get into a relationship, when you get married. And you have to also understand that you and the relationship and your partner will continue to evolve.
Yeah.
There will be different dynamics that will continue to come at you. I'll give you our example, myself and Raj. When we first got married, I had 4 miscarriages. That was our first challenge as a married couple, because the families wanted to blame my age, my eggs. He didn't let it. He said maybe it's him, which is very brave for a man to do.
Progressive as well, yeah.
He couldn't cry when I was crying. So when I was in mourning, he was this tough guy, but then he also needed to mourn, and I had to allow him to be his, space, to give him that space and hold space for him, and allow him to recognize and acknowledge that the baby we were hoping for is not going to be. So that was our first thing. Second thing is his father passed away and had cancer. So again, what does that look like for him as his wife? I'm mourning my father-in-law, but he's mourning his dad.
Yeah.
And who do I need to be in order to step in and step up for him? It's not about you. It's, there's a lot that goes on. Another thing that happens within the human body is after every 7 years, your everything, your cells change. So that's why you have something called the 7-year itch, right? Yeah. This is in every relationship where you're bored, you're tired, you're like, oh my God, this is it. This is what we're going to be doing for the rest of our lives. And you start looking outward, and maybe someone else is sexy and appealing, or, something like that. And again, you have to be true to yourself. And this is where I go back into the spiritual side of it, is that marriages are made in heaven. And for me, when you get married in a church or a temple, it is blessed by God. And I think we're also forgetting that side of it, the spiritual side of it. And I'm so glad that as a pastor, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm so glad that your opinion will also come into this, is that I really feel that when you make this promise, it's not only a promise to, another human being, but it's something higher than you, for better, for worse. So you have to be ready to ride the wave no matter what it looks like. Someone can be very wealthy one minute and lose all his money the next. So that soft life could disappear right in front of you. And then what? And then what happens to the dynamic that you signed up for? Is that it? Are you going to walk away from it? Or is it something that you're going to say, okay, let's do this together and
figure it out?
So now our dynamics have changed because, of course, we're raising, my daughter's 15, my son is a tween, and we are now navigating being parents of that age. And what does that look like? He's got different thoughts. I have different thoughts. But we want our kids to feel whole. We want them to be good human beings. So we have to be a team when it comes to that. Communication is very important. It's always evolving. Marriage is always evolving. I think, with the girls of today, whether you choose to do it or not, and that's an amazing thing that you have the choice.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
I think at one point women didn't have a choice. You were forced into marriages with the Indians. It's arranged marriages at times. And you did not have a choice. No, you didn't have a voice. Right? You couldn't say anything. It was something that you had to do. Now at least you have the option of saying, hey, this guy's nice and I like him and I'm in love and I think it's going to work or it's not going to work, or I really love my independence and hey, we'll probably date each other and that's it. I think marriage today is probably just an agreement for law.
Yeah.
So that legally, if you do get married to somebody and when, the time comes and you have to bury him, what happens then? When you've bought a flat together, what happens then? So I think there's a lot of legal stuff that comes with it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing.
I was going to ask, so when you were 22, did you want to get married?
Absolutely not.
Really?
I was not ready for marriage at 22. They say that the brain develops the ability to understand risk at the age of 27.
26. Oh, yeah.
Right? So this is probably why our parents encourage us to get married young.
Interesting.
Because you don't understand.
For you.
Which is why now at 37, you're like, nah, I know who I am and I know what it can entail. But at 28, I was ready to get married. And I saw my brother go through a divorce. And then that's when I was like, no, if this is what marriage ends up in, I don't want
it. Yeah.
So this is why I say you really need to know yourself, because you need to also, take yourself, if you have a relationship that you possibly see that this is going somewhere, take yourself away from it and see if this is someone you want in your life forever.
Yeah.
For me,
I feel like before you got married, did you want to get married?
And did it, the image you had, the aspiration you had, has it turned out to be what you had imagined?
Yeah. The answer to both of the questions is yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew marriage was going to be hard. I knew marriage was going to be difficult. I knew marriage was going to be a challenge. I knew that. When I got into it, I just didn't know to what degree it would be. I think it just became much, much.
So we're encouraging you to get married.
Yeah. It's like,
Actually, Pinky, I discourage people to get married.
Oh, yeah.
for real.
Oh yeah, I discourage people to get married.
So what do you encourage instead?
I discourage
With a ring on your finger.
Yes. I think one of the things that I context does not support marriages to be stable. I think our context, where we are, our society is not. It makes it just hard for marriages to thrive, marriages to flourish, and so when I hear something like Pinky say 18 years, I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
Big up to you, because I feel you're getting married at 26. You don't know, you haven't discovered much about yourself yet. You're just beginning to understand what living independently looks like, feels like, consequences of choices that you make, and then you say, yeah, I'm going to live with this person for the rest of my life. And then 10, 15 years later, that movie, Why Did I Get Married? It's a very good question to ask. And it's not supposed to be in a place where you do it with the rosy eyes. I think you need to be able to ask a fundamental question saying, what I know about this individual and what I may discover in the future, can I live with that?
Sana, that part of what I discovered.
Yes.
Yeah.
And and I think for me, the bigger challenge for me, to ask, to be able to answer your question is, I discovered who I was, and I don't like who I am. I am not as a good person as I thought I was. I think marriage has been a mirror about who I am.
Wow.
Selfish, proud, a bully. I mean, those things came out, and these past 19 years that I've been married, those are the things. That's what marriage has been for me, a mirror of who I am. I look at my wife sometimes, I'm like,
you've taken a lot.
Maskini. Maskini. Yeah.
Down that lens and apologize.
It's on record.
So,
Exactly. We'll cut it out that bit.
No, keep it. In fact, this is something I'd love her to watch.
Oh, we'll send it that bit.
Yeah.
We'll send it to her specifically.
Your anniversary.
But again, I'd like to say, marriage also has been something that has really refined me. I have had to admit this, Sharon, in the past maybe 5 years, that it was also like a label for me. And
you need to say like you're a married man.
Yeah.
Like the accolades that brings you as a man.
Marriage just brings status for any individual.
That's very honest and very true.
So I've had to admit, and I'm like, crap. And
so honest.
I fell for it. The way I was like, I fell for it, and I guess in the past maybe 5-6 years, I got to realize that if this thing is taken away from me, who am I?
Who do you think you'd be?
That's what I'm discovering now. Oh yeah. And I'm saying, unfortunately, marriage just became also part of my identity. And so who is Gowi without marriage, without this institution in itself? And so it has been a journey of discovery for me in itself. So to answer your question, it was what I thought, but not to the degree in itself. Oh, and by the way, if you ask me, if you were to do it again, would you do it? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you were to do it again, would you do it?
Of course. Yes.
Can I even just say something?
You've been quiet.
I'm listening.
No, Jules is marinating. She's about to hit you. She's about to hit you with something.
Marinating.
Okay, brace myself. Okay.
I'm ready.
When you see Jules doing her eyes like this,
The eyelashes.
she's
Buffering.
turning.
You guys.
Have I lied?
I'm absorbing.
I know, Najua. Nakujua too. No problem.
Life is so interesting in that I feel like I'm in the journey of learning that same lesson, but for me, it's not marriage that brought the lesson about. So one, the mirror. I had a string of very unhealthy, I don't know, toxic, whatever, like just relationships where I am.
You're not jengaing.
I was jengaing people. Let me tell you, I have a very, very good CV here.
Yeah.
And then one day I said, kindly, please. And the day I said, of course, now somebody very good comes. And this healthy relationship is the one that showed me
The difference.
yourself.
Sick trait.
Yeah.
Because before I was the one going into therapy.
You were the
and I
good
had-
one.
You were on the receiving end.
And I was the one doing a lot of this is how you
Yes.
have healthy conflict resolution. Let's talk about
You were like the
this.
standard. Like you are the standard, the good one.
I think
No, she was the one showing the person in the relationship that this is how you be better, you show better, you show up.
This is what a healthy relationship needs to look like. And you know, I used to pick the worst of the worst. So I'm like, yes, now let me show you real love.
Like a change.
Yeah, and then I got into a healthy relationship, my first, and I was like, wow, kuna kanga hivi huku. I'm at peace every day for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I was like so shocked. But that is the relationship where I was like, oh, you thought that's when I saw the ego, the arrogance, my traits, especially with conflict resolution. I really thought I was a master. I am not. I am literally a 7-year-old child in a tantrum when we are resolving stuff with somebody who is not being arrogant, with somebody who, because when somebody is so mean, it's like I become very pragmatic and I'm okay, fine, let's do this. So that was my mirror. That is what brought the mirror. And I would be like, guy, I have a lot of work to do. And then I had to learn, because we had very different goals with this individual. And I had built, this relationship built the confidence in me to walk away, because I would never leave. I'd stay in bad relationships, but then I realized, oh, maybe this is what I want. This is who I am. So we ended up separating because, for example, I want kids and this person wanted children maybe in 10 years. And I was like, I don't know if now that you've made me nest, I think I want this thing with you. Yes. But anyway, I started to understand what I want. And then that's when I learned how to depend on get an identity in myself other than when I'm with somebody, because I was addicted to love and addicted to relationships. It would be very hard for me to be alone. Even when I was alone, I had a somebody, and I had a somebody for the somebody, you know. Like I was just never single. Just like that. There was always something. Hi, what's up? So I remember I decided we are clearing everything, no roster, nothing. We are sitting in this house like this. And I sat, and that's when I was like, oh, okay. And so my journey was a relationship that actually brought that out, but not a marriage, but a good relationship. Yeah. So it's funny how, and it just goes to life lessons. Sharon one day was telling me, Sharon has spoken on the podcast before about her journey to sobriety. Not that she was an alcoholic, she just decided to remove alcohol from her life. And one day, remember, Sharon, you were telling me how you were in South Africa, sitting in your bedroom, and it was like a cloud. You were staring out the window in Cape Town, and a cloud was like separating across the mountain. And you said to yourself, that is the way this battle with alcohol or drinking, it will be taken away. The way God will separate those clouds. Like it was you got
I felt that's what God was telling me.
And I had a similar learning about a different thing, but had the same. So I feel like in life, somebody might be thinking that they have to have a marriage, experience the mirror and experience the whatever. But if it's in your soul's purpose and journey to be like, I need to figure this. This needs to be my learning. Whatever is there in your life will bring that lesson out. Yeah.
Yep.
So now that you know that about yourself, are you saying that you're approaching it differently? Knowing that there's that 7-year-old tantrum that you said. Because Gowi said he's still in it.
Not yet.
You know what?
Not yet. Because before I couldn't even identify it. I didn't even know it existed. Now I'm at the stage where I can see it, and sometimes I'm able to reel her back in. Many times I can't, but there's definitely a progression. It depends on what exactly has been triggered. What is the topic? What is the ninini? If it's
and even who was triggered it?
It's usually the same people dressed in different clothes. It's the same things. It's the same thematics.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I hear her saying, which I think is something that I can relate to, is you never get over it. It's a coping mechanism that you develop over the years. So the marriage actually showed me, Gowi, this is who you really are, and this is the work you need to do. And so that has been the journey for me, and that has been the painful part of my marriage.
Is it how difficult is it to do it in the marriage? How hard is change and evolve? Because you said you have to give room for growth. What is that like
I'll send you a text.
In a marriage?
It's a work in progress. I mean, you heard what Pinky said, you know. I mean, the it's not even the individual. It could even be the situation. She was saying grief. Grief can trigger something. I mean, maybe she can share some of the grief can figure something. miscarriages, infertility, the loss of a job.
Yep.
It could even be parenting. Those things affect. There are things that are playing around in marriage in itself. So to ask your question, to answer your question, there's a yes and a yes. There's also a no. Still figuring this thing out, man.
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to listen to your podcast from now on.
So good.
There's a yes and a yes.
And then
So what we were also asking and questioning with this whole, should women aspire to be wives or mothers? There's a reason behind that aspiration beyond the
Why?
beyond the fairy tale.
Yes.
I think we can all agree in an African society there is a certain measure of, and even you've said it. You've said, and I
Respect,
quote,
status,
you
yeah.
fell for it, the status thing.
Please don't rub it in.
Sorry.
the exact words that you use.
I quote.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yes.
But it's true. I think
Yeah.
in Africa, and I'm surprised to hear it as a man. I think I've always internalized it and seen it as a woman. There's a status that a woman who is married is given, and especially, and we talked about this when we were planning this episode. It's almost like you'd rather even have been divorced,
Been married and
been
got
married and
divorced.
divorced, than just
Never.
just single and you've passed 32, 33. what?
Pana
40, 45.
42 there. Relax.
Okay, me in my mother's household.
You're not Sharon.
in my mother's household, the age is dramatically lower. But the point is that there's a certain age where it's really, really frowned upon.
Yeah. It's like,
To-
is there a problem?
Yeah. And that makes you question, like, okay, should we still be aspiring for marriage and motherhood beyond the pressure that we get?
I think the world has changed so much that you don't need to aspire for marriage and motherhood. And, again, I'll go back to the fact that you have it's such a great thing that today there is choice. I could have, a child without a partner. I can have several partners and not necessarily get married to somebody. I think what is important is to realize or recognize that this world is built on patriarchy.
Yeah.
And the shame comes from that if you are a single dame, then you are unfortunate, and it is a shame. So I think also that narrative is changing, because the more women are finding out who they are, the more they're stepping into their power.
That's true.
And so we don't have to teach the youngsters, the young girls, and you guys, that marriage is the know-all and the end-all, and motherhood is going to complete you. However, it is something that is naturally given to us by God.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you have the power of a womb, then again, it goes back to, and I hear it from you, that the self-awareness, that whole looking at a mirror and discovering who you are. They say circumstances don't make you, they reveal you.
The reveal,
Right?
Yeah.
They don't
Well
make
put,
you.
well put,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you are self-aware, then why not understand that, yes, bringing life into this world is beautiful. The bond between a mother and a child is beautiful. So when you're telling us about the fact that your second-born and first-born is like done, ticked all the boxes, I know as a parent that your parents are looking to you or concerned that I hope she finds nothing else but happiness. Because we've gone past the whole thing of pleasing society. I think we're past that. And I think our parents are also past that. So now it's just, I hope she finds what makes her happy. And if it is motherhood or if it is a husband, I really hope she finds it.
If it's a chalet in the south of France.
Yeah. I hope she finds it. And I hope she can afford it and not ask me to buy it.
Correct.
No, but you see, like, I think what we also are discovering through this, because we are going through an evolution, is the fact that the pressure is off. we are not going to be falling into this whole thing of by the time you're this age, you need to have X amount of kids and you need to be married and you need to be this. Yes, there is still societal pressure, but you should see, and the women in this room, you know, are a testament to that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter so much.
I would say so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I would
that
add
will
there's so
continue
much
to change.
I hope so, because I was saying, for me, like it's not a choice. You know, sometimes even when people are talking to us, like my mom. By the way, I just need to say for the record, Mother never used to pressure me at all, at all. This started like months ago.
Recently,
she's like, so Sarah, even just one.
Child.
She's like, just have one for atam later to tamlea, you know.
Yeah.
Even she said, just get an oops, it's okay, you know. And she's making it as a joke because she's like, I do it now when I'm still young enough to help you. And now, I mean, up until this point, I've just always been going with the flow.
What do you think has changed for Mount?
I think now she was holding holding herself back. Maybe age, I don't know.
So is there pressure?
It's a there's
Subtle?
pressure. It's a subtle pressure, and it's not only from her. Me, I've had this pressure on myself even when I was in my 20s. Yeah. So her saying it now, I'm just trying to manage the compounding effect in my
Got you.
in my psyche. Yeah, because partnership, I mean, marriage was such an aspiration for me. And again, it's not a choice. I needed to go through what I'm going through. If I got married to the person I was dating, 3 years ago, it would have been it would have just been hell. So some of these things, I'm like, my life has played out the way it has played out. But the way we're made to feel, it's as if we're making a choice to do these things late. Yeah.
I would just love to say hi, Mama Jules. Don't come at me.
Even this one we will cut and snip and send to.
We love you. We love our moms. My mom, would be like, have kids. And when I was going through the miscarriages, it was really tough. And I'd be like, maybe it's not for me. But, finally we were able to have 2 kids. And when my daughter was 5 and my son was 10 months old, my mom had a major stroke. And she's now in a wheelchair and can't speak. And I always battle, like, with God about this. I'm like, dude, she wanted to look after her grandkids. And I'm what's the name of the podcast?
It's really...
We made you that promise.
It's don't have kids for anyone, no matter who that person is in your life. I understand that we'd love to make our parents happy, and really, really, like, I think it's a beautiful gift. I'm sure you see it when your parents are with their grandchild.
It's handbag.
Beautiful, yeah,
like this.
But I feel, and again, this is where we're going wrong in society, is the pressure. There is a lot of pressure.
Way too much.
So be a mother when you can give yourself to your children completely.
It just feels like in this day and age, and I don't know, and maybe to the more independent, ambitious women, I usually just wonder, like, how do you do that and also tending to your husband, your children, and like, because work is so demanding, and like, you've got an amazing career, you're running huge events, yet still doing all these other duties as a mom, as a wife. And honestly, it blows my mind how women are supposed to be able to do all those things.
I mean, we can
Huh?
completely.
So you can have it all.
Yes, absolutely. I believe it.
Not at the same time, though. I think that sentence is incomplete.
I feel like that again is very debatable. What that looks like, it's perception. What does that look like for you?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that it should never be a choice. Should I get married or should I follow my career? Should I have kids or should I, do this? I think just to answer your question, there is a time and a place.
Yeah.
So, once you get married, you settle into your marriage. Then you say, okay, maybe a year and a half, 2 years in, let me now focus on my career. Oh, look, I'm pregnant. Okay. And it doesn't always work out like that, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be able to flow like water, because changes will come and things will happen and different dynamics can take control of any situation. So you have to be adaptable, changeable.
You know what? I'm hearing this conversation and I'm wondering why the either or.
Yeah, there shouldn't be an either or.
Life is just complex in itself. It's a mess.
Yeah.
And you just have to deal with the complexity of it. And so, we talk about a gender perspective and all this, and I'm like, I'm seeing women thrive.
Yeah.
Right? I'm seeing women thrive. But I'm also seeing women, just falling off the rails. All right? So, and I can't speak for all of them. All right? In fact, I can't speak for any of them. But life is it's a mess.
It's messy.
It's complex, and we deal. We there's somewhere that you need to be able to find a sweet spot as it goes, and as Pinky has used the analogy of being fluid. There's a place where water finds its level, and then the ground shifts, and then you do that. But life is complex.
Yeah, and I guess maybe that's why we're now interrogating. So life is already complex. We're unmarried. We don't have kids yet. So now, do we need to introduce those further complexities, right? Or at least for me, that's kind of where I find myself, like the responsibility of children, a husband, and an institution of marriage, whatever. And I'm just like, already life feels a lot. But could it be that me as I am, I'm not stretching myself, as you said, to my fullest potential? Like there's more.
Sharon, I know the way you're setting up your business.
Mm-hmm.
Is a way you're doing what you're doing. All right. Do you know what the future is going to hold?
No.
I'd say it would be similar. I'm not sure you know what it is. The only difference about the business is
you can walk away from it. I'm like, there's a level of
there's some things you can do with the business, right?
Control,
you can walk away, you can shut it down, you can sell it and all that. I get, but then there now these are people you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You're dealing with your partner, your husband, you're dealing with children.
Yeah.
So it's different, but in many ways, I cannot tell what the future is going to.
Yeah.
But I think the person you have become, I think, can answer that question. The answer, I think, is in you.
It's within us.
I think it's with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's right there.
Name answers.
So in this aspiration, I think what I'm hearing, I think what would be ideal for me is that if you meet a woman, and let's stretch it, in her 50s, never had a child, never been married, maybe you meet several of them, it should not make you flinch the same way you meet a woman in her 50s who is a grandmother or maybe even a great-grandmother. It's just be like, okay, like she decides to eat chicken, this one decides to be vegetarian. But the reality is that that's not the case. You understand? So even when we're asking this question, should women aspire? It's a very layered question, but the thing that we are really trying to address is why is it a problem? What's the issue around aspiring? Or
let me ask you that:
Yeah.
Is there a problem? Is there a problem with
of course
aspiring?
with aspiring.
Yeah.
No, there's no problem with aspiring. So the element that needs to be introduced is choice. What the thing is that what we are challenging with this should women aspire, is that women are trained to aspire for that as the primary thing, whereas a man is trained to, let's say, focus on his career.
I disagree.
You don't think so?
No.
You think men are told to aspire to marry?
We are
to
told.
train to
We
aspire
are
to
also
marry?
told one day you will have a family.
Yeah, one day. Like, go do
One
the
day.
things you want, and one day you have a family.
No.
My
I think we are also programmed to know that one day we will settle down and have a family.
But what are the values behind that? You have to be the provider, isn't it?
It's neither here nor there on that one. But let's move it. We are also programmed that we will have a family, that one day we will settle down and have children. That is what we are.
if you
How
think
we
about
do it is different, you know. But as a boy growing up, you know that one day you will, you know, get married and have a family. That is something that it's not different from women. I think for women it's been romanticized, you know. There's been a lot of this for us. It's like now you're becoming a man. You know,
like
now you have
you're serious.
responsibilities.
Yeah.
Or you have.
It's not
Or now,
the garden.
now you are respected. I'll give you one. No, now that you say you are going to get married, now people will be saying, okay, now you're a man.
I was going to say, but if you think about it, everything in society is programming.
Mhm.
Everything, whatever we're doing, it's all programming. You're going to age, and that's horrible for women, and all these things, you know. So it's up to us to be aware of that, and now start changing it as we are bringing our children up. It's for a woman to think that a marriage is going to define her, or a marriage is going to make her. That is warped thinking. She should not go into a marriage thinking this is going to make
me
me
a
who
woman.
I
Yeah.
am, who I want to be. This is, I think, especially in today's world, it should be a partnership. Why am I able to do the things that I do? Is because my partner supports me. And in the same way, I support him. So we are a tag team. We understand what we need to achieve, and we step up and step in where we need to. When money's tight and he's struggling, I step in. I don't say, oh, but you're the provider, and hey, you know, this is...
As a man.
Yeah, as a man, you know. I think also what we have to understand is, again, the programming, going back to a man is supposed to, a woman is supposed to. That has changed. Men are human beings too. Men have mental health problems too. Men have emotions too. So as women, we have to be very aware of that. And when I say that a woman shouldn't go into a marriage saying that this is going to define me, because your man is not going to take all your problems away if you are problematic. You have to do that.
Yeah.
You have to work on yourself, change yourself. And that's why I say for you to be able to show up for your children, because that's who you'll traumatize the most when you're bringing them up, is you have to be whole. And it's a healing journey that never ends. It never ends. Your healing journey will never end. But work on yourself so that when you're able to, when you do conceive, when you do have kids, or when you do get married, you show up as yourself. Yeah.
Do you think that women are more likely to have that thought than men?
What thought?
The thought of like, I need to continuously improve myself, not financially, not in terms of provision, but my emotional intelligence, my emotional security, how I show affection, not just, but I love you, there's a roof, there's a food, there's, like actually sitting to, do men actually, feel like, okay, maybe I could be better at this, and then go out and could attempt to be better at it?
What do you think as guys talk about?
No, I don't know. You said
Yes. What do you think? What do you think?
You said you don't. You said came here to say 3 words, and
what do you,
we ask because we are not seeing any men who are self-improving.
I'm curious to know. What do you think we?
I think men talk when shit has hit the fan.
Yes.
I think it's like a point of crisis. That's when you'll be like, hey, for the past 6 months, da 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 da, and it's like, I find in comparison to women there'll be like checkpoints in a way more regularly. So for me, it's more like before it hits a point of no return, or like, what they're calling a midlife crisis, or what they're calling, I don't know, whatever extreme act of external, whatever it might be, before that? Like, do you then, start sensing, actually, I'm not actually having a good time in this job, or, I'm not having a good time with this. I need to maybe vocalize that more.
I think
does that happen?
For Gowi to have started off saying that marriage is a mirror, I feel that shows that, him as a man, he's very self-aware.
He said that only in the last 5 years.
But then the self-awareness has come.
In the last 5 years.
That's okay. It's okay. There's no, as long as you're able to be aware and understand and then change because of the things that you see are flaws within yourself, that's okay. We can't hold it against anyone that, your timing is off, timing is bad. Because some people are not even aware of
true.
how
Or
toxic they are.
Maybe we should ask, why is it, just to back on it up, maybe we should ask, why is it that most women tend to work on themselves more or earlier?
Because we have...
Is it the emotions or because we have...
I'm trying to hear from Gowi, and you see, again, instead of talking, like just, I want to hear from like as a man.
So what is the question? I'm not sure what you're asking.
It's many factors, but it ultimately is, are men able, and do they continuously check in on themselves and say, emotionally, in levels of emotional intelligence, I need to improve this way, or I could be better this way. Not money, not based around money, not based around provision, based around them and their security and
values.
Yes, their values, their context and stuff, before it reaches crisis, and then you start doing cleanup.
The answer is yes. And money and work and career are very important to men.
Yes.
We socialize, we interact around what we do and what we achieve. That is how we are wired. So it's important to us that there's a place we are that we are building, we are working on. I think there are many places of self-reflection in itself. Even in their relationships, yes. My answer to your question is yes. But you cannot take away the place of where a man's achievements are not important to him, because that is important to him. Is that what should define him? No. But that is important to him. To take that away from this conversation.
So not to take it away, it's like we acknowledge that, and then now, in addition to that, like, yes, there's that, but the other level where it's like, just being emotionally secure, is that something that men think about and discuss amongst themselves?
Yeah.
That how I handled that situation could have been better because,
The answer is yes.
Yeah?
The answer is yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the answer is yes. To what degree and to what extent, I can't speak for all of them, but yes, the men who do self-evaluation recognize where they need improvement. And if they have not expressed how they've expressed themselves in a healthy way, or are doing it in a healthy way, in many ways, yes, men do that. I sense to think, if I'm to read behind that particular question, correct me if I'm wrong, is that men are not emotionally aware. And I would say, yes, they are. It's just we express our emotions differently. A man gets angry. A man gets sad. A man is scared. But these things are shown out differently. How a man has been wired to express those things. Let me give you an example. Men are not allowed to express anger.
A statement or a question?
It is a statement.
Okay.
And when we do, when we express our anger, it's okay. We are vilified about it. All right. And when a man expresses anger and all that, we see it in the bad, on what we say left side. Okay, the destruction that can come. But men get angry. All right. A man can shout. All right. So if a man expresses his anger shouting, all right, that one is seen as violent and all this, but it's a man expressing his anger. Whereas for a woman to shout,
It's Tuesday.
It's there. In fact, you could see somebody. You have that there's an issue there, you know. But for a man, it's not allowed to. Yet the man has that emotion in itself, and so men, we discuss where are there safe spaces
to be angry.
Wow.
To express how we are angry and all those. And men have those spaces where we do it. It's just not in a place where we are going to be. It's going to be held against us. So we have our safe spaces that we create where we shout, where we cuss, where we do whatever it is, and then we come back and then
in the bar.
It's the safe space now, Sherry.
It's our safe space.
It's not going to reveal that.
Men have those spaces in itself. It's just not in. And again, many of us men, our cultures have not given us the tools.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the thing. I
think
think that's
the tools of how to process that. And so however situations where the chips fall that's how we'll be able to do it. And so there are men who are in touch with their emotions. It's just don't necessarily have a place where to,
express them.
Not just express them, process them in itself. Because we have all of them, we're working on a project, and so it's actually a podcast that I've been asked to sit on, and one of them, spoiler alert,
it's breaking news.
Yeah, I'll be asked.
You had it here first.
I'll never.
I promise it's really good.
We pick up a thing. It's in a box, and so we pick up something, and we're told you do exactly what you read out. And this one was, call a friend and tell him you love him.
Yeah, I saw.
And so I was the one who did that. So I picked up and I'm supposed to call. This is live on camera, and I call
a male friend.
And so I called, and it's supposed to be on speakerphone. And so once they do that, it's not for the man there, it's for you. So the questions there are, how do you feel about it? So even the tender side of a man is hard, all right, to express. The safest place, I think, for men to show tenderness is with his children, especially his daughters. That is where it's a safe place. But where else can a man be tender?
Interesting.
Where else can a man be tender?
His mother? Question mark. His mother?
His mother? Okay, but those are safe. But why? Why is it that way? Why can't I show tenderness?
I feel like you're saying that it can't be his wife.
Okay.
I'm like
even his wife. There's a place of take that.
To a certain.
This is PDA. You guys, man, get a room.
Yeah.
And it's some place of that. But these are the two places that, thank you for doing this, with their children and with his mother. For the other places, there are caveats about how you show that tenderness. How much and to what degree you'll be able to do that. So these are the things that men deal with, maybe don't have the tools, or here's the thing about a man, it's where is he going to be express his feelings safe. If he doesn't find a place that is safe, you won't see that.
Yeah. But do men want to? Do they want to?
Absolutely.
They want to.
Absolutely.
Because you see, even as women, we've been conditioned that it's gay soft.
Or not even that.
A lot of women don't hold those safe spaces.
And not even that you'll be soft with him and he'll express his feelings, and then now when he's out of that turmoil, he'll go because he'll be like, you've seen too much of me on this side. So
even
let me go
run away.
macho on this other side.
Yeah.
They don't know that I can cry. They don't know that I can be vulnerable.
Yeah.
I think there's many factors, and I'm just trying to tie it all back to women aspiring for marriage, because I think more women would aspire for marriage when they feel safe. And safety is like in finances, it's in everything, it's in very many things.
So men don't go into marriage for safety.
Right. And
right? It's a totally different thing.
What do they go to marriage for?
All right. For many men, it's a rite of passage.
Nurturing.
All right. It's a place for procreation. It's a place for guiltless sex. It's yeah.
Feel guiltless.
Talk your shit.
There's there's places for validation.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other things that are there.
And
I'm
being
not saying
taken care of.
being
So you
taken
have
care
someone who
of.
can cook,
Yes.
clean, your clothes are ironed.
So there are those reasons that men go to. I'm
But it's
not
not
going
safety.
to say. And
Yeah.
safety grows in time. Safety grows in time. And so that's where a man will be able to nurture and be able to find a place to safe. There are men who find their relationship or their partner a safe space. And kudos to them. But here's what I'm going to say for men. I've had this. Sharon, I've officiated many weddings.
Marriages. You said over 50.
No, they're in the hundreds.
Wow.
I usually hear the women say, "Men, you are my best friend."
Me, I have a problem with that.
No, wait. I can see where this is going.
Women say
said,
that
"But-"
men are the men. The men.
I love you, honey, forever. That ride or die. But
Women read the vow, you're my best friend.
Or if they say the vows, they'll express, "This is my best friend." You know that. So for men, it's different.
So they don't feel like you're the best friend?
No, I'm saying I'll be here. Let me just bust your bubble. Maybe 1 out of 10 in
I
men.
think now is when the bubble is busted. This
Yes. If there's a bubble,
the bubble's still left.
yes.
What bubble?
Exactly. No, go on.
1 out of 10 will marry their best friend.
1 out of 10.
That's me.
Yeah,
1 out of 10.
I agree. I just
1 out of 10 will marry their best friend. The other 9, they will build a friendship over time.
1 out of 10 men or 1 out of 10 women?
1 out of 10 men
Men. Oh.
marry their best friend. The other 9 will grow in their friendship. And over time, she will become
the best friend.
the best friend. To answer your question, should women aspire to marriage and motherhood? My answer to that question is yes. All right? Should they? Yes, they should. But if they choose not to, it's okay. All right? Marriage should not be an identifying factor. It is an institution that enriches somebody's life. It's an institution that is sacred in itself. I believe marriage was never our idea. Marriage is God's idea in itself. And so if you choose to go into that, there are things that you need to be able to, let me just put it, there are rules when you get into marriage. You understand? So if you choose to go that way, then there are things
You have to play by the
play by those rules
Yeah.
in itself. And that's going to enrich your own experience. Whatever life dishes out to you, all right? But you play within those rules and you make do with what that is. It goes back to what I'm saying. I mean, this marriage has brought out, I think, more the worst in me than the best in me.
Should we call your wife? Where is she?
girl.
Where is she right now?
But would I do it again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
You're better for it.
I think I'm
It's on marriage.
Yes.
That's a fair question. Fair question.
It's a fair question. You're right. Yeah.
Question.
I think I've become a better man.
Yeah.
It's not the
Awesome.
because of the marriage, but this is what marriage has done for me. Once again, it's not because of the marriage. This is what marriage has done for me in itself. And maybe to, I don't want to say to bring this home. You guys are the ones who are running the podcast. This is me just holding back.
Bring it home.
It's important that we recognize that marriage is actually hard. All right? It is not easy. But marriage is a very enriching experience. The same with parenting or motherhood. Motherhood is just wow. Motherhood is a privilege, it's an honor. All right? And for a woman to choose to become a mother, you recognize that, again, it is God who gave you those children. All right? But it's such a privilege to become a mother, you know? And as a woman considers going through that, it's not because she can give birth, not just because she can give birth, but it is a privilege to bring life,
Yeah.
to nurture, to raise this person. I mean, look at the women you have become. There was somebody behind bringing this person.
They will be peach, man. Really, I'm like, actually.
So
Yeah.
to any woman who can give birth.
Yeah.
I tell them,
do it.
Do it.
Hata kama una mtu.
There's also adopting. You don't need to go through that.
But the partnership, do you?
Let me just say here, parenting is different
from marriage.
Okay, so those are two different things.
Right?
I think the ideal is to have somebody to raise your children with,
right?
But that should not be the determining fact, because there are individuals who have single-handedly raised their children by the grace of God, and their children have turned out
fine,
well in itself. Circumstances have it that way. But man, just say you don't have to birth the child, you can adopt the child. I'm a big proponent of adoption in itself. And so for what it's worth, I'm saying yes.
Yeah.
You should aspire to marriage. You should aspire to motherhood. But this should not be the defining factor of who you are. You are an individual. Outside, you being a mother, and outside being a wife.
Yeah.
All right? Who are you? Muthoni, who are you? So
Muthoni Mushiri.
So if you're Muthoni Mushiri, without being married, without having a child, once you embrace who that Muthoni is, and do that, it enriches your being in the marriage. It enriches your motherhood experience. That's how I'm going to say that, and with those few remarks.
Yeah.
No, wow. What would you say is should women aspire to marriage and motherhood?
Absolutely. I think there's nothing wrong with marriage and motherhood. Just to echo what Gowi has said, is you should know yourself well enough so that you can show up in any relationship as a complete person. And that, like I said before, it's a never-ending journey. The reasons to get married should always be very real. You shouldn't get married for the gram. You shouldn't get married to tick a box to please anyone. You shouldn't get married because of the status. You shouldn't get married for money. It's a great thing, hey, but that can change. Similarly with motherhood, don't get pregnant just because it's something that you're supposed to do. Don't get pregnant because you're pressured to do it. Don't become a mother if you feel incomplete, like you haven't lived your life, and you feel that a child may tie you down, but giving someone else a child will make them happy. I think you should prioritize yourself and start thinking about yourself. It sounds selfish, but we have also forgotten that as women, that is this something I really want? Is this something that will make me happy? Is this something that I see myself doing long term? I really do believe in the fact that it is for life. And circumstances can change, especially with marriage. It can change. But, for your kids, that is life. That is forever. And you need to be their mother for a long time. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who's divorced, and she was yelling at her son. And I said to her, listen, this is going to be someone's husband one day. Think about how you're bringing him up from that perspective. Not from the perspective that you are angry at your ex-husband and this dude reminds you of him.
It's a carbon copy of him.
Yeah. Don't do that. Bring him up, because one day he will need to be married to somebody and need to give that girl, someone's daughter, a whole life. So we have to be very, intentional with how we are doing things. I think the reason there is so much toxicity and confusion is because, and our parents and our grandparents are amazing, but they, and I'll speak from my perspective, maybe their intentions were not correct, which is why the world is so messed up. I'll prove a point, or I'll show this, or I'll do this. And then again, going back to that thing of karma, it may not affect you, but it will affect generations to come.
Mm-hmm.
So just be very pure with your intention. Who are you showing up for? What are you doing it for? And yes, aspire. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But again, it's not for the faint-hearted. It does really make you figure out who you are. And in both regards, marriage and motherhood, you question everything. You question yourself consistently. I'm always like, oh my God, did I do that right as a mother? Did I do that right? Did I do that right? But, and I really love how you said you find yourself first. Find out who you are first. And then allow these to be extensions of you, not your definition.
Yeah. Wow. Guys, I think... Okay, that's it. Okay, Jules, it's a burning point.
We'll be here for another hour.
Back it up. This is just food for thought. You eat it, go and eat it, and you digest. Go talk outside with your friends.
Or in the comments below. In the comments
below. I like that you both say it's okay to aspire, because I think there is a shame around. There's a little bit of a shame around that now with, women development. If you're single, especially somebody like me, if I'm still here 10 years from now and I'm saying, I still aspire, because it's like, sorry. So I think I'm happy you said that, because now I have no shame about it. It's still an aspiration. I think I love and I love the idea of institutional marriage, blah, blah, blah. But what we need to figure out in communicating, especially to people who are listening to this, is to remember that we have a lot of people who are not yet married. We have a lot of women. I'm just seeing a lot of women who are not married, and they have good jobs, and they've set themselves up properly. And then, that's why Winoni is asking, are you people working on yourselves? Why? Do you know the people we are meeting out here? Kumedhoka huku nje. You've been inside, you are married, you are safe. Us outside here, we are like, I sometimes even ask, are these the same kids we were brought up with in primary? I'm just like, who are you people? So I think the thing is how to yes, we already aspiring. I don't think I think it's more people who aspire than not aspire. I think it's the number is more that people want long-term partnership. Even if they don't want marriage, they want partnership with somebody.
Yeah.
The thing is, how do you navigate not being there yet, given the circumstance? And then last thing I want to say is, as we're preparing for this episode, there's a TikTok that I saw. No, sorry, it was a video, like a clip from a podcast. Elizabeth Gilbert, Eat, Pray, Love. Was she on the Oprah podcast? She was on a podcast, and she said something around a statistic that was that also inspired some of the talking points here, which is that research has now shown that if a woman gets married to a man, I wish I could just play it. If a woman gets married to a man, she has higher chances of depression, suicide, eating disorders, mental health issues, blah, blah, blah. But then if a man gets married to a woman, his life and you see how you said marriage nourishes? Did you use the word nourish? Enriches. His life is very much enriched. He goes career-wise.
So can I just add something? When I'm talking about dynamics and everything, as a woman ages, she will go through perimenopause. Perimenopause wreaks havoc on a woman, like completely. From this whole thing, depression, loss of appetite, you become a different person. And if your partner doesn't understand this, they say the highest rates of divorce and suicide happen when a woman is going through perimenopause.
Okay.
So, also your partner has to be on your team.
Okay. So that's something also to consider.
Yeah.
I'll challenge that thought just briefly.
So a man is, so in terms of career, this is just statistics. So it's not to say marriage is not for women and not for men, but what the numbers are showing.
Me, I'm also a researcher.
Yeah.
What was the correlation between depression and marriage. Who was the sample? Where was the thing done?
Okay, those ones I don't know.
Those are the things in itself.
Yeah.
But Pinky has said something in itself. There are other mitigating factors that contribute to these and
to these studies.
Yes, she has actually said one of them, and that's perimenopause, which is a big thing that we need to be aware of. I would not say it is the institution of marriage. I think there are other things that go. Just that you're in a marriage compounds the thing.
Okay, I think it's the institution of marriage, just the way marriage is set up, where the woman, she's bearing the child and she's still doing a lot of the invisible tasks.
Fair enough.
And then the man has just like this generally single role. So I took it from the perspective of
yes.
She's a mother, she's still working, bring home an income, and she's still doing the things that the men do, but then the man is just doing the thing that the man does, and so she's carrying more load on her. Even if a man is present, you've had fathers say, no matter, even if you're present, like the baby still needs the mother, the boob, so sometimes not even, I don't know. So these are just food for thoughts. It's not yes or no. At the end of the day, I have this research. I've seen it. I've listened to this podcast, but then I'm not like, now I want to be single forever because I want to lower suicide rate and lower whatever. I still want partnership, but I think it's good too when these things are put out there. So why is it happening to women? Is there an opportunity for the men to support women more in these institutions? Yeah. And those are my parting thoughts.
Wow, guys, I think we have to allow ourselves to wrap, because we've touched on so many different things. But I think ultimately, to kind of tie it back to the beginning, we were trying to unpack this whole idea of marriage and women aspiring to be mothers, or it's okay, baby.
You found it.
So sorry.
I
found it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Sorry. Go on.
We're just wrapping and tying it back, and I wanted to invite our audience to let us know in the comments the way you came into this episode, reading that title and being like, should women aspire to be mothers or wives first? What were you thinking then versus what are you thinking now? Please go in the comments. Let us know. Have you changed your mind? Are you still the same? Has there been a point that has just really opened you up to a whole new dimension you hadn't considered? I know for sure for me, some of the things Gowi has shared specifically, it's spoken to a season of my life that I'm in right now. And it's been so amazing having the two of you here. I think you've really enriched the conversation, and I hope the other hosts feel the same way. But as we said, this is about starting a conversation. So get in the comments. Let us know what were you thinking before? What are you thinking now? Leave us a comment. And again, as always, this has been It's Related.
I promise.